Ladies and gentlemen, please make your fun facts funner, for this is a Fred Valiant Productions podcast.
How fun, how fun, how fun!
how, how fun! Cue the music.
I don't know what we're yelling about! We came, we saw, we kicked its ass!
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me you built a time machine? Kind of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style?
Who is this? What's your operating number?
Boring conversation anyway.
Look, we're gonna have company! Noises!
Hello,
Hello,
Hello.
I'm a Kendall Richardson.
I'm a Fulya and
And I'm an hour early because of daylight saving times. I'm Michael Lister.
Yes, we're all feeling it this evening. Because you are now experiencing a podcast called Fred.
Yes, experiencing it for the mediums of, wow, looking back, look at this. We're 1 hour early, just like daylight savings time. Do it now. I'm not going to sing the rest of that song.
No. No, we are not. But that's fine. If you know, you know. Welcome to the show, everyone. Thank you for being here. If you're watching on the stream, if you are listening on the podcast feed, thank you very much. We appreciate all of you. Let's kick things off as per freaking usual with the weekly watchings. Fulya, please tell us what you've been watching this week.
Been much of a watching week, but I have watched a little bit of stuff. So, continuing my watch through of Kuroko's basketball into the final season. So, been watching that. Speaking of anime, I ended up going back to a Studio Ghibli film that I had watched a very long time ago, and it was also my very first Studio Ghibli film that I had ever watched. But it's been a while, so I thought I will watch. It's been a while. I will watch it again because I don't remember much of it, and it was Spirited Away.
Hey.
Yeah, I hadn't watched that one in
Nice.
a long time, so I thought let me jump back into it and sort of see if I can remember anything. I didn't remember too much, which kind of felt in a way, which means that it sort of felt new all over again in a way, even though I remembered some of the characters, but I didn't remember all of it. But yeah, really happy to have been able to rewatch that, just to sort of reminisce and just enjoy the vibes. And I love my Studio Ghibli animated films, so and it's also given me an idea for my next Studio Ghibli tattoo. So yeah,
Do go on.
Well, I'm already gonna get Calcifer, so Calcifer's gonna happen. That's from House Moving Castle. Yeah,
Nice.
Calcifer's gonna happen. But now I'm gonna get.
Now you're going to get?
Now I'm thinking about getting Haku the dragon.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Breathing
whether
calcifer.
No.
That would be an image.
What a collaboration that would be.
They're all, then you get all of them all joined somehow.
Join in the one.
Have a full sleeve of Ghibli.
Yeah.
Actually,
well, it's slowly going that way, considering the fact that I've already got two of the Studio Ghibli characters on the inside of my forearm. So
Cute.
yeah, Calcifer's gonna be underneath Gigi, and then I don't know whether or not I'm gonna have the dragon sort of going, kind of like winding around my arm, or whether I'm just gonna have it on the top. But we'll see.
Wow.
It won't be too big though, but it'll just
Okay.
be sort of like on that bottom half of my sort of on the forearm side. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
why don't you go nuts and just get like the parents turning into pigs and
No.
come on.
That's rough. No.
Yeah.
New.
No.
Yeah, no, thank you. I might like I was thinking about getting maybe the the fat mouse, the fat rat, the big baby that turns into the rat with the big crow that turns into the like fly-sized bird trying to carry around the rat. I was thinking about that because they're kind of cute, but nah, I might just stick with dragon. Dragon's kind of cool.
Nice.
So yeah, Spirited Away was a good rewatch. And then the final thing that I mentioned that I started watching because I hadn't since it got released is season 8 of Queer Eye.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I think I've watched like the first, I think it was like 4 or 5 episodes of season 8. I'm not sure how many other more episodes there are going to be, but I'm just watching them 1 or 2 episodes at a time. They're tearjerkers, man. We're
Every goddamn time.
Always make me emotional.
Always.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, it's really good. And the most recent episode that I watched was of I'm gonna say a woman that is in her, I think she's in her like late 30, potential late 30s, or maybe early 40s. I couldn't really tell from her just by looking at her, but she used to be a sister at a church, so she used to be in the nunnery, and now because she had, they have to swear to, I think they had to like a vow of celibacy and all that sort of stuff, be coming back, but she had needs that she couldn't meet being a nun.
Yeah.
So she came out of the being a sister. She still has her faith and her spiritual aspects of her life, and she continues to do that in her own home. But she has social issues in terms of the whole dating side of things, which was something that kind of hit me a little bit too. So
yeah, I think I know which one you're talking
about.
Yeah,
that one felt kind of relatable on the dating and social side of it all.
Mm-hmm.
It was really interesting, and it still made me cry. And the fact that I love it when they do the makeover side of things, because then I can sort of see myself doing this sort of like looking in the mirror, but then I'm like, if I do that, I'm gonna break down. You know how it is, self-esteem.
Oh, I know. Don't worry. I will say though, on the fashion side of things, I like half the reason I tuck all my shirts in now and pull them out a bit is because of tan.
French tuck.
Yeah, the French tuck. I love a French tuck. Yeah. So good.
Oh boy, I've kind of been doing that too. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's great. It's flattering. It looks good.
It is. Yeah, it is. Just the fact, but the thing is, I still haven't like the fact that the way that I dress when I go to work, I dress to be comfortable and practical.
Yes.
Not necessarily to be fashionable, unfortunately. So, yeah, that's the thing. Anyway, Queer Eye season 8. Way through it. Hopefully, by the time we come back around to this episode next week, I'll be done with it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's all I've been watching.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for sharing. Mike, what about you?
Well, considering it's a spooky season, and I'm not talking about tax time, me and the kids started doing like the rewatches or first time watching for them, Treehouse of Horrors, because they're all on the Disney Plus.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so going back from the start and going all the way on, and I think we're on special 8. So all the good ones have been, and then we're going to eventually get into the newer stuff. But one night, and I'll explain why. We were babysitting the cousins. My nephew and niece was coming around because my sister and her husband needed a babysitter, and they sort of vice versa looked after our kids the next night because we went to see a movie, and I'll talk about that later. And we were starting to watch them, and then my nephew said, "Hey, why don't we watch the latest one?" And it's like, okay, and then wow, the juxtaposition between the old stuff that is all cool and it's like a little bit risque to the new stuff was very jarring. They're cutting off heads and blood spurt and I was even going and even pulling back skin off a head. But as a cartoon, this is
Violent.
Yeah, very violent. You can just see the 30 years of not giving a shit now. It's like we need the more push the envelope, and how much envelope is there more to push than actually doing this? And yeah, it was funny, I guess. Still, bit shocking, really. And yeah, it's going to be weird getting up to the newer stuff that I'm more unfamiliar with. So I tend to watch stuff before I let my kids watch, being a responsible adult and all that. But even that was shocking for me. And I'm guessing my kids didn't really mind it. I guess. My kids are going to be weird. I know that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, well, look what they have for a dad. Anyway, so that was a bit of fun.
Nice.
There's a new episode. There's an indie animation thing that's on YouTube called the Amazing Digital Circus. If you don't know that one, where it's all animated, like computer animated about these characters that are in like a digital world, and it's like a simulation sort of thing, and these people are trapped in it and they can't get out. So on the surface it looks like cheery and fun, but but the undertone is very sinister. So and my kids sort of enjoy that because they just see like these fun, happy characters just doing their bit, but but. I can sort of tell after, when they do a rewatch, when they're a bit more mature and adulty, is like, Dad, why did you make us watch this? It's like, because this is art. It's art. Because multiple viewings, you'll get more out of it. And then you'll thank me. You will thank me. Yeah, so the latest episode came out for that. It's more of a spooky one, where they go to a haunted house. It's a bit like essentially it's like a game, so it's very much like Luigi's Mansion sort of thing, but it's got more spooky stuff that even I went, is this okay for my kids? Yeah, it's fine. There's nothing really. It's just if I got my kids into watching Ghostbusters, this is fine. This is fine. Yeah, so I do recommend that. It's now on Netflix, which is kind of cool and interesting for a ground level indie like YouTube series, but being published on a big platformer, so more eyes, and that's kind of cool. I think people are more going for indie stuff now that modern stuff doesn't really take much chances, and I'll probably get into that more with the movie that I saw. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, I'll talk about the movie that I saw. I went to see Joker, Folie à Deux.
Hey.
Okay, so what did you think?
Let's just say, I don't see where all the hatred is.
Okay.
Because I did enjoy it.
Good.
I didn't hate it, but it was enjoyable. It got my thinking cap on, which is very good because it made me think of it made me change the way I thought about the first one. How that was in itself the story that Arthur Fleck was telling, and there's all this weird stuff going on, like the clock being the same time, like in every shot, even though continuity that wouldn't work, and how he formed this relationship without the character precipitating the relationship as well. So he made that up, and we were led to believe that that was real. So in this one, it's completely different. It's more to do with it's a very interesting beast, and it's a lot different from the first one, which I appreciate, because otherwise, Todd Phillip, this is like his second sequel to a thing that because he did Hangover, and there was a lot of complaints with the second Hangover being essentially the same film, just in a different setting. And even I say, it's like, well, it's not really much point. It's the same thing over and over. But the third one was kind of good because it left that way. It left and did its own thing, which should have happened in the second one, but there. But with Joker, it made me feel like this isn't necessarily like an origin story of the Joker, because essentially being like a crime drama as well as a court procedural as well in the later half of the movie, it was more to do with like the character, like the overall concept of the Joker being on trial, and how people like people in the real world and people in the movie like have a relationship with this character. It's like, why do you like him, and surely it's a toxic thing that's happening, and is this right? And it got me thinking as well as that. So, not to spoil it, but a lot of people were sort of weirded out by the ending. And they didn't and some people didn't really understand it and just palmed it off as like, oh, it's another Morbius. But if you like the critics and the audience hate it apparently on like the website. Was it Tomatoes?
Rotten Tomatoes.
I don't care.
Currently sitting at a 33% on the tomato meter.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't care. This is the reason why you should actually make your own decisions and go out and actually watch it. And
the other thing that I heard though was that it hit Morbius levels of box office.
Yeah, it's not going to make bank, which is a shame because, like, how many? That's why I quite like it, because a lot of people think that and especially companies now, that if it doesn't reach $1 billion, then it's a complete failure and we shouldn't be doing that. No, this is going to be like a sleeper movie. It's going to be a cult classic. Like, that's the way I'm going to see it. And in 10 years, people are going to apologize to me. It's like, yeah, you're right.
I was right.
I was right.
You and the rest of the 2% that actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Like I got a lot of stuff out of it, and props to me. But if you don't like it, I don't mind if you don't like it. Like, it's a very polarizing film, and especially its storytelling in that.
Yeah.
And how it does end. But give it a chance if you haven't seen it. Probably not you, Fulya, because it is an ultra violent sort of telling of the Joker. And I got a lot out of it, and it's not necessarily like the origin and the sort of procedure of the Joker. I think it's more of a commentary of the archetype of the Joker, and that's how I feel about it. And I don't. Yeah, I could get on more into it, but it's more of a spoilery territory. And it does have music in it. And it was a bit weird because they could have done more with it. But I think the musical aspect was more of, okay, this is to indicate that this is like the dream. This is the this is what people are thinking, because they're like singing, and the way I see it is like, well, they are singing in real life, but they are hearing the music, and we as an audience are hearing the music as well. So it's sort of like that sort of juxtaposition, like Oppenheimer. This series of time of the future being in black and white and the past being in color. It's that sort of storytelling. Cool. And Harley Quinn, the Harley Quinn character. I do like what they did with Lady Gaga's character. I wish there was more, in a way. I think her character was a bit. I don't know. They could have done more. Could have done more with the sort of fandom when it comes to, like, essentially she's like a fan of what Arthur Fleck did and the Joker sort of monarch. So they could have done more with that and sort of tightened up. I think it was a lot of sag. There's a lot. The pacing in it is a bit bleh. But yeah, I don't know. I give it, if I'm going to score it, probably a 3 out of 5. Just to be generous. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I watched all the stuff that came out this week as well, except for Vox Machina. I haven't really touched that. So, Agatha all along. I'm annoyed that I got spoiled of who these characters are, because this episode sort of left me. It was a real leak. Damn. Okay. But another musical, and a lot of character growth in that, which is great. And with Lord of the Rings,
Speak your mind, Mike. All words are safe and welcome.
Bit of a
And
disappointment.
Then Kendall will kill you.
Did you say disappointment? Did I hear that correctly?
Bit of a disappointment.
Okay. Why do you say that?
Well, I can understand what they were, because the first season was a bit more adventurous, and they're sort of putting stuff together, and I suppose this one, season 2, that they did a lot more. Remember this, and I like that, but in this episode there was a lot of that, almost egregious.
Oh yeah.
Become who you.
See, I would argue there was. I mean, yes, there is.
Become who you were born to be. It's like
dialogue was too much. They need to stop putting in dialogue from things. They need to come up with their own. Like I was listening to a podcast that said this exact thing. They need to come up with their own
lexicon.
Their own lexicon, exactly. So people can reference Rings of Power, not just say, "Oh, this is from Rings of Power," but it was a reference to Peter Jackson movies or whatever.
Yeah,
I will agree with you. Yeah.
They did a Samwise Gamgee monologue at the end of Two Towers in it as well.
Yeah. Did they?
Yeah. I can't remember the other Halffoot's name. The one that.
Oh, you're talking about Poppy's.
Yeah, Poppy's speech.
Did that make you think of Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I didn't do that for me, but yeah, I can see that totally.
And cool, we saw the Balrog. Thanks.
I have so many opinions about it. I don't know what it means. Apart from it looked fucking awesome.
It looked awesome, but
it looks so fucking good.
way too early.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, Khazad Dûm didn't fall though. Like,
no,
there was a clash, and then the rocks fell, and then everything's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm like, oh, what does that mean? that breaks the canon a little bit, but I suppose it allows for them to be like, okay, maybe Durin the seventh or whichever Durin is the one that fucks up later is gonna be the one responsible.
I heard stories of a
Unleashing
cavern,
it.
full of mithril.
Yeah. So maybe it's just I don't know. Interesting the way they paid it off.
But I did appreciate that they played with, does Balrog have wings or not?
It looked cool, didn't it? The
Yeah.
way they used the smoke and
Smoke and fire.
Okay. Well, yeah, the episode was called Shadow and Flames. So
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I suppose that's my weekly watchings. What about you, Kendall?
Great. Well, part of me wants to just segue and keep going, but I'm going to actually backtrack and go through other stuff and save my power thoughts for last. And I'm going to take off my jacket because it's game time apparently. I'm warm. What did I watch this week? Okay, well, I'm going to start with a really brief and terrible review. I saw Megalopolis.
That's the other one that I want to see because, same reasons.
I mean, go in with an open mind, set your expectations very low, and I'd be curious to see what you make of it. I didn't like it at all. And if you know me, very rarely will I admit I don't like a thing, or I actually genuinely don't like it. I checked I was ready to be out of there. Not even Adam Driver could save that movie for me. Anyway, but it's visually very cool. You can go see it on the big screen and enjoy the spectacle and the concept of what Coppola was going for is really kind of fascinating. But it wasn't executed very well, in my opinion. Neither here nor there. Anyway, so yeah, Megalopolis, not good. I did go to the movies again though. I saw a better movie. I saw Speak No Evil.
Ah.
Yes, with James McAvoy. This is a sort of a psychological thriller film. And yeah, it was really well done. It was a bit long, probably, because the build up. Because if you've seen the trailer, the marketing for this, you'll know that something's not right. Something, especially with James McAvoy's character, something's wrong with him.
Yeah, he's doing an American accent.
He's English in it.
Is he?
So he's not even Scottish in it. He's English. Yeah,
I knew there was something wrong.
Yeah, it's set in England. And yeah, but the build up to the other shoe dropping is they do it in a really nice way that builds tension very well, but it does take a bit too long, perhaps, to get to it. But apart from that, performances are really good, and him especially is outstanding. I like that he has this niche now of just playing complete psychos. He's quite good at it, and it helps that he's easy on the eyes as well. It's nice.
Bloody hell!
But I will give you a warning though, Mike. If you are thinking of watching this, tread lightly, because as a father, there are things in this film you will not like seeing. Hearing about.
Speak no more.
Yeah. I will say no more of that evil.
All right, cut out your tongue.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but apparently that's what do you call it? The marketing. I've seen a lot of tongues.
I mean, yeah. Speak no evil. You can't speak without a tongue, can you? So.
I don't know about that.
Slight spoiler for the movie. That's fine. But it was good.
In the title.
It's in the title. I enjoyed it. I had a good time watching it. What else? Yeah, Agatha was great. Whatever you're talking about in the marketing that was spoiled for you, or in the toys that was spoiled for you.
Yeah, it was the pop vinyl. I hate pop vinyls now.
It hasn't been spoiled for me yet.
Good.
So either I've missed the reference, or they just haven't outright said what you've had spoiled for you yet.
There's certain dialogue that they use, and if you watch it back when you know, it's like, I get it now.
Okay. Yeah. I like the episode though. Like you said, there's lots of good character development, especially with Alice's character and dealing with the loss of her mum and learning more about that and what happened. And I liked hearing this version of the Witch's Ballad. I think it was a lot better than like the a cappella version we got in episode 2. So that was cool. The rock vibes of the 70s. And I'm guessing Agatha and Rio, played by Aubrey Plaza, were in a relationship at some point because there was some intimacy going on between them, some like history. I mean, you get a vibe of it when they're fighting each other at the end of episode 1, but you know, but in this episode in particular, it was very ooh. So I'm very happy that Marvel is going all in on this kind of interesting queer representation. So I hope they go further with it in a good direction. So
I hope they don't bury their gays.
They better not bury their gays. Better not bury more gays. Too many gays have been buried. Anyway, that's a bit dark. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, I watched Penguin as well this week.
Yes. I knew I forgot something.
It's now on Mondays, which doesn't help that because I watched it at the start of the week and I barely remember any of it now, but I remember it being a very good episode. Things very much developed in terms of Oz playing both sides. He's doing it very, very well, but like barely. Like there was some great tense moments where he was using his sidekick Kid Buddy to, help him execute certain things, and things went pear-shaped, and then people died that shouldn't have died otherwise, and it was all very tense. I'm really loving it. It's really good. I'm looking forward to watching it tomorrow. Mike, you have something to say there?
Yeah, it reminded me of when a certain thing happened, and I had to laugh because the previous episode we were talking about the special kiss that happened in Rings of Power.
Oh yeah.
And I was thinking, is Oswald going to kiss him when he slips in the knife? It's like,
yeah,
that's
right. That would have been something. I'm like, oh, okay, it's spreading.
Yeah, it's coming.
Kissing people as a way of deception
and slipping stuff in. Like a knife.
It's like a knife, exactly. Exactly right.
Yeah, I'd enjoyed it too. Me and the wife. It's one of the good family time.
Good old family time. Yeah, crime family time.
Crime family time. That could be us one day. Sometimes you have to say, fuck it, Mum, I'm sorry, but I'm being a drug dealer. The economy is too bad.
Yeah.
Time to sell crack.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That you drop in your eye. That's, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't remember what they call it. Do they just call it drops or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Penguin is very good. If you're interested in crime dramas, crime thrillers, you don't have to enjoy it. It's really well done.
It's good by itself.
It is good on its own. Yeah, it stands up completely on its own. Yeah, I like it a lot. Okay. All right. Now we go back in Middle Earth and Rings of Power for my hopefully not too long ramble about the finale. Jesus Christ. I'm so sad it's over. That was the fastest 6 weeks ever. Jesus, it's gone too quick. And now I have to wait another fucking 2 years for more episodes. But that's okay. It'll be worth it. Yeah, I am really happy with the way it ended. I thought it was a really good finale. Not everything was perfect. I mean, we talked about the Balrog a bit already and how it's canonically too early, but, there could be reasons for that. That said, and Fulya, you would really, I'll send you an image or something, or just a clip of the scene, but the moment that... Well, we're gonna spoil the whole finale, basically, in my rambling, but the moment that King Durin III launches with his axe at the Balrog is fucking amazing. That was for me, that was the shot of the episode. Like visually, just
And that was a cold open.
It was the cold open. They did that before they rolled credits, and and the credits came on because, like, with the battle episode the previous week, they didn't do credits at all. And so this week I was like, oh, they're not going to do credits then. And then immediately after the Balrog moment, they just started. And I was like, are you fucking kidding? You did a Balrog in your cold open. Wow. These guys are amazing. But yeah, there's a lot to unpack from that. But anyway, I liked where things went for the dwarves on the whole. Like, you know, Durin the Fourth is now going to be king, but lo and behold, his title is going to be challenged because of his rocky relationship with his dad, and apparently he has a brother that we've never heard about until now. So, I'm unless he's in the canon, I haven't actually looked into it.
Younger or older?
I don't know. I haven't looked into it.
Just there's a.
They just said brother. They just said there's a brother. I'm guessing younger because Durin. This Durin is Durin the Fourth, and so I would imagine he's in line. I mean, look, I could go into the lore about how they've fucked up, like the Durin situation. Two Durins shouldn't exist at once.
Maybe because he lost his title, and then
he wasn't. That's part of it,
and he wasn't in his right mind when he gave it back. So could be a discrepancy against that.
That's probably something that I could see them throwing again in season 3. Yeah, so that's going to be really interesting.
I could write this show.
You
Better too.
Hell, I've been told I could. So you know,
especially with a stranger.
Oh, mate. Oh, mate. Oh, I hated
Do it.
it.
Fan fiction.
Hey, do you want to see my word count on AO3? I have over 300,000 words dedicated to this show. Like, I have not fucked around. I have not fucked around whatsoever. Anyway, yeah, let's talk about Gandalf. Gandalf is officially in the Rings of Power.
Okay, so he's actually
here and in the biggest anticlimactic reveal of all time, because we all knew he was Gandalf. Like, it was they made it so fucking obvious that he was Gandalf. Like, literally in the last like moments before the reveal that he remembers his name, like they're calling him Grandalf. And I don't know. I didn't like. I love this show, but I will criticize it where it's due. And I don't like this Gandalf thing. But it does. The showrunners have said that because there's a dark wizard Fulya as well, and a lot of people think it's Saruman, which also breaks canon. So Karen, it breaks canon if he's here now. Because he wasn't evil until later, he was good at this point. Right. So the showrunners have said he's not Saruman, but then another friend of mine was like, yeah, but they've lied about shit before, so grain of salt. And I'm like, okay, well, let's hope it's not Saruman. But anyway, yeah, he's Gandalf, and it's fine, I guess. I don't know. I liked seeing Tom Bombadil, and it was great, but like that whole storyline is again like my least favorite. Like I appreciate what they're trying to do with the Halfwits and introducing the stores and introducing like they're talking about the origins of the Shire here in this season, and that's cool. But beyond member berries, I don't think it really serves much of a purpose. But they are setting up Gandalf to take on Sauron at some point, so which is not canonical in anyway. There's a lot of issues. But hey, it's fine. It's an adaptation. They're telling their own story. I'm gonna love every minute of it, regardless. So Gandalf's the thing. What else do I need to talk about? Oh yeah, the other thing that Mike didn't mention but referenced, and like, look at this thing. They unveiled the Narsil sword finally in the show. It was in an Easter egg in the background in season 1.
Should have stayed there.
They were gonna do it at some point. I'm surprised they did it now again. And I will agree with you again, Mike. And I said this before, but like that scene between Elendil and Miriel, and not only using similar sounding dialogue, almost identical dialogue, to the scenes from is it Fellowship? Is it Elrond or Boromir? One of them. Oh, it's Elrond, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's in Return. It's in
It's,
Return.
it's
of the
Return
King.
of the King when
Yeah,
they reforged the
they reforged
sword.
the sword. Yeah, and then fucking Elendil does the same, almost near identical same, pulls the sword from its hilt, like swooping moment, and looks at it the same
Same
way
shot,
that Aragorn does.
same
Yeah,
same blocking.
yeah. I don't know why they feel the need to do this. I don't know why. I don't know why they feel the need to reference the Peter Jackson films so heavily. Like, it's definitely gotten worse this season.
It's like
so
poetry.
it rhymes. I mean, look, I enjoy it as a fan of, of Lord of the Rings, as I have been for so many years. Like, it's cool, but there's times when it's just too heavy-handed. It's just not. It's not what we want. But anyway, yeah. So that's cool. And then I guess I'll just talk about the way everything kind of comes together at the end, and I waited all season, you guys. I finally got to see Sauron and Galadriel in the same space together, reunited. And boy, I enjoyed myself watching that. That was nice.
Ooh.
Ew.
He even went into his
Oh,
what is it? The first, what do you call it? The default skin of Sauron.
Yeah, at one point there's this one point during the fight where he like changes forms to like mess with her, and the first form he puts on is Halbrand, and I fucking squealed. I fucking lost it. It was great. It was great.
He went blonde to brunette, and you squealed.
Look, Halbrand. There's a whole thing. I'm not going into it.
All right,
because we'll be here all fucking night, and it'll just be Brings of Power podcast. No, but anyway, Halbrand is where it's like that's where the whole thing for me in this show kind of started. His character, and then the Sauron reveal, and his connection to Galadriel, and that exploration of their dynamic is just really fascinating, and I really like it a lot. So seeing him come back in some short sense, some way, and the way it was the only time Galadriel was stunned in her tracks in the entire fight, like the only time. So I'm just like, okay, that means something. That's important.
She gave him the high ground, Anakin.
She gave him the high ground. Yeah, and then she like fought him up, and he walked away anyway. So I don't know. Yes, but yeah, the fight scene was amazing. It was really well done. I loved all the choreography. It went on for the right amount of time. It was an epic sword fight, and great climax to the episode. And then we lost a couple of characters this episode as well. Adar, one of the original characters of the show, who was the sort of one of the antagonists, I guess, for the first two seasons. In some kind of beautiful tragic symmetry, he died the same way Sauron did in episode 1 in the flashback. I liked that a lot.
Bookend.
Bookend. It was very well done. But I was really sad that Adar's been a really interesting character for me in this show, and I was finally like the way he, like, when he had the ring on, he turned around and he wasn't all scarred and shit, and he looked like, his original elven self. I was like, oh man, this is amazing. Let's see more of this. And then he's like, I want us to work together, Galadriel. I'm going to put down my sword, and I'm going to go back to Mordor, and I'm never going to fight any wars again with my children.
You're gonna die, aren't you?
And then I should have picked it immediately. I should have been like, oh, he said that, now he's gonna die. I had a feeling he was gonna die anyway. I couldn't see where they would take his character beyond this season. So but his death was very good. And then I think probably my favorite scene of the entire episode, though, like just actually in general, like excluding the Sauron and Galadriel stuff and the Balrog, but Celebrimbor's death.
Yeah, he went out like a champ.
Like a fucking boss. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, it was so good. Like, it capped off that like their storyline, him and Sauron / Anatar, the best storyline the whole season, and it capped it off in such a great way, and yeah, and just I love how Celebrimbor got back at Sauron right before he died,
Just negging him.
Yeah, and just hurling those.
You're gonna kill me anyway.
Words.
Fuck you.
Yeah, basically. But I kind of loved how Sauron he gave in and ended him in a fit of rage, and then immediately kind of maybe regretted it, I guess, because he started crying. Like he's like holding a dead elf with a spear pressed up again. It was very violent for you.
Stabbed him up.
He's got arrows. And he just lifted. It was it was epic.
Yeah, he was using him for target practice.
He was. Yeah, he was. It was great. But they had a fantastic back and forth about.
You mean he got
the rings and?
You mean like Boromir?
Yeah.
Constant. It rhymes.
It rhymes. But no, I mean Celebrimbor dies in a similar fashion in the text anyway. So
they took the little ones.
Oh no!
I cry every time. Don't worry.
I know. So do I. It's so sad. But yeah, speaking of tears, the moment when Sauron cried at the end, that wasn't scripted. That was just Charlie Vickers
being a pussy.
Going for it in the moment. Well, what did you just say?
Nothing.
Did you say being a pussy? Michael, no. It's my boy. Don't do that to him.
My boy. My boy.
My boy. My man. My dog.
My man.
Anyway.
My boy.
My man.
My bleach blonde bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. So next season, I'm guessing we're gonna have Sauron going to Numenor, or him forging the One Ring, or I don't know. There's about what they're going to do next season, but either way, it's going to be really, really good. And overall, I was very happy with this season. I thought it was still not perfect. Still some certain storylines that I'm like, whatever about. And now some of those some storylines have ended now because characters have died and other characters have met up with each other, and so we're going to have probably less storylines. So part of me is hoping they don't use that as an opportunity to make more. I'm like, they need to streamline it. Yeah. And now that we have pretty much all the elves kind of, because Rivendell is getting established now. That was where they were at the end of the episode. So yeah, I'm sad and I'm happy. It was amazing. I had a great time. I'm gonna miss talking about it every week. So yeah. Anyway,
it was great. It was good. I got annoyed. Should I watch even more? I don't know.
Keep watching.
Otherwise, you got no one else to talk to.
just be me rambling.
I was like, oh yeah, that's nice.
God, could you imagine if I still did non-scripted rambling videos? Like how long each episode would be?
An hour.
An hour over. I'd probably go for like
Minimum.
2 hours. Minimum. Yes. Not wrong. Anyway, thank you everyone for listening to me ramble about Rings of Power. That was amazing. I'm very happy.
We could just have a little segment called "This is Kendall's non-scripted ramblings" segment.
You can
it's
call
just
it
me ranting about whatever my obsession is at the moment.
Or being this particular show, you can call it the Power Hour.
The Power Hour. I like that. Rings of Power Hour. That's very good.
The Kendall ramblings Power Hour.
Power Hour.
Kendall run rings around the Power Hour.
Yeah, we go.
It's getting longer and longer.
It's getting longer and longer.
Just like this fucking show. Anyway.
Yes. Anyway, so with that, we're going to move on. That was the weekly watchings, which means now it's time to dive in to the nerdy news.
This is the news in Nerdy News. The nerds that talk about the nerdy news. That is us who talk about the news that is nerdy. And now the queen of nerdydom, the hostess with mostest, Kendall Richardson. Take it away, Kendall.
Hello, hello. Nerdy news time. We don't have a lot to talk about this week, but by God, are we just going to be sad again for like the second week in a row because we've lost some more incredibly talented individuals that left a mark in the creative world. This week, I can't believe there's 3 of them. So sadly, I have to say we lost Chris Christopherson at the age of 88. John Ashton at the age of 76, and John Amos at the age of 84. Yeah, just blow after blow after blow. That it's I don't know what's going on in the Hollywood. You know, it's at the moment it feels intense. It's a lot. I have engaged personally myself with a few of these performers' works over the years. Chris Christopherson, notably from the Blade movies. If you're a Marvel fan back in the day, he was Whistler in the Blade trilogy with Wesley Snipes. Abraham Whistler. Very good performance in those movies. The last movie I watched with Chris Christopherson, I believe, though, was I was shown his version with Barbra Streisand of The Star Is Born from 1976, I believe. And those unfamiliar, he plays the Bradley Cooper character, but a different name. Like it's a same. Every time they remake Star Is Born, it's like this different skin but the same story, so different character names and whatnot. He was amazing in that. I really liked him in it. Him and Barbara had incredible chemistry with each other. So I really enjoyed watching that movie. I'd recommend it if you like A Star Is Born kind of story. And then, of course, he was one of the 4 members of the Highwaymen. Willie Nelson is now the only one remaining, which is really sad. But it's an iconic country music superstar group. And yeah, in the music industry as well. So he's going to be missed greatly by a lot of people. There were so many tributes for Chris this week. It was wow. It really kind of hit me to see how many lives he affected. Speaking of course, John Ashton. Most people will know him for his role as John Taggart in the Beverly Hills Cop movies, of which Mike and I both watched pretty recently, given the arrival of Axel F, which thankfully John was in. So thank God they were able to make that, and he was well enough to appear in the movie. I teared up a little bit at Judge Reinhold's tribute to him on social media. That was really sweet. You gotta have a look at that.
Still hates his wife.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no smoking in heaven. They clearly had a beautiful they clearly had a beautiful friendship and working relationship. So I recommend go checking out Judge Reinhold's tweet about John Ashton. He was in a bunch of other things as well, had a very long lasting career. He died at the age of 76. And then another titan of the industry, we lost John Amos this week. He's only 84, but that's still a heck of a life to have lived. He was pretty prolific on television. He starred in the original, which was a huge groundbreaking series in the US. It was remade either once or twice, I can't remember. But a pretty iconic story. He played a very important character in that. He was in Good Times as well back in the 70s. But for me personally, I know John Amos, and I think all of us here can say we know John Amos from Coming to America, where he was Mr. McDowell. He was great. I really like him in the original film, and he appeared in the sequel that I barely remember anything about because it was mid. But that's fine. So, but yeah, John was. I remember John being good in it. And fantastic in the original film. Just absolutely hilarious. I think one of my favorite moments is the way he acts around James Earl Jones's King. Just like so willing just to do whatever. To be like, my daughter is gonna be, the heir to the throne of Zamunda. Like what the hell's going on? Anyway, he was a very talented actor. So yeah, very sad to have lost all of these immensely wonderful, talented individuals. Fulia, do you have any thoughts to share on the passing of these great men?
Yeah, the world is getting smaller with all these amazing people. Just just yeah. Um, I think out of the three, though, for me, John Amos is probably the one that I know the most in terms of what I've seen him in. But as you've said, coming where I really know him from, and you're right, he was an absolutely amazing, like comic relief in that movie. Even though the whole movie itself was a comedy anyway, but just being that he was in the family that's just this average Joe family, with a business that is having a hard time because all of their stuff is apparently the same as what McDonald's has, but no, McDowell's is different. And I love that. Ah, man. That man can get away. But yeah, look, he was such a great talent, great like comedic actor as well. That yeah, huge bucket of wind for all three, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Mike, what about yourself? Do you have any fond thoughts, feelings to share about the passing of these great performers?
Yeah, it's. I mean, not as known too well. Christopherson with our generation, but there's one interesting tidbit. Like, yeah, he was in Star Is Born, and he was prolific in his songwriting and his singing, and also being an actor as well. He actually did a voice for a game, and he did Fallout New Vegas. He was a character in that with his southern drawl. So yeah, Matthew Perry and now Chris, and because it's interesting, they're actually going back to New Vegas in Fallout Season 2. Hopefully there'll be little references to both of them. Yeah, and not to get political, but Chris was definitely a very good leftist. He spoke out of both Gulf Wars and the Iraq War and all that, and also and did benefits for Palestine as well. So it's a huge thing where you get basically groundhouse and just people say, no, you're not supposed to do that. It's like, no, just lead by principle. And he was a big fan and friend of Sinead O'Connor as well. So, and was one of the leading people to say, hey, and what she did on Saturday Night Live, he was one of the people that says she's allowed to do it. It's a thing now of ripping up the Pope picture. Yeah. And he will be missed. Sean Astin, yeah, we've just watched Axel, Beverly Hills Cop 4, and yeah, big shame of that one. And yeah, he was great in that, even though he's a bit of a curmudgeon. Turns out,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, tongue in cheek, and it was fun. But it's an '80s film made in 2024, so that's what we got, and it was great. And John Amos, dubbed America's Dad, because he did a lot of sitcoms in the '70s as well, and was basically a leading force in the African American sort of comedy as well with was it the Good Place? I think that was the sitcom that predated all the other ones, and it was about sorry,
Good Times.
Good Times, Good Place. No, this is the Good Place. I'm getting my
This
lines
is the
crossed.
bad place.
Yeah.
All good. All good.
One's funny and one's not. I don't know. I haven't seen any of them. But yeah, he played the dad in that, and he played a lot of dads in that, and especially in Welcome to America. And it is sad that both dads are gone this year. So
Yeah, within weeks of each other.
yeah, it sucks. Yeah, I'm on my socials. It's a lot of Gen Xers are grieving because
Yeah.
essentially it's their childhood like slowly leaving us. So it's sad. It is sad, and they will be missed. All of them.
Yeah.
Wonderful chaps. All of them. Doctor Who quote.
Yes.
There you go.
Hey, wonderful. Well said, well said. Okay, let's bring things up by moving into our second and final piece of news this week. Some gaming news that is sort of relevant to my interests as well. All of our interests, really, but you know, I don't play games. So
I'm curious to see
That's-
if you'd want to play this one.
yeah, I'm curious to see if I'm going to play this one. So basically, it was announced this week that Avatar: The Last Airbender is going to be getting its own AAA RPG, being made by Saber Interactive and Paramount Game Studios. It's going to be like you get to actually be the Avatar in this and kind of go on the journey. And it's going to apparently take place thousands of years in the past. According to the companies behind it, they said be immersed in a vibrant world, master all four elements, engage in dynamic combat alongside companions, and experience the challenges and decisions that come with being the keeper of balance in the world. And then apparently, in line with the story, it's going to be featuring things new and things old that fans will appreciate, apparently. Just don't do too many member berries. They will. But yeah, I don't know anything about Saber Interactive or Paramount Gaming and what they've done, really. But I'm really curious to see how this is going to look, what kind of graphics they're going to go for, like what visual style they're going to do. Is it going to be... I'm guessing it's going to be an open world, maybe, sort of format. I don't know. I would like to see some gameplay or a trailer before I personally would decide to go and pick up a copy of this. But yeah, it's interesting, and it's a cool way to expand the lore of Last Airbender, I think. Given that, you know, it seems that, well, the show is just, you know, perpetually popular, like to the end of time. It's, you know, one of the best shows ever made, and with the live action coming out, I feel like that's kind of pushed it to the fore of people's minds. So now they're like, right, we're going to capitalize on this, and we're going to give you more stuff. So yeah, I'm curious, but I'm more curious for you both to give me your opinions. Starting with Fulya, what do you make of this announcement?
So when I first heard about this, my mind went to like some of the past iterations of an Avatar: Last Airbender game. Most recently, one that was very kind of action adventure-y, and it didn't work so well because I played it and I didn't like it. Ended up trading it back in. So that's the answer to that point.
Ouch.
Yeah. I think it was just more the fact that because I had bought it very recent to when it released, it was kind of janky in the way it played. Like, it didn't control very well. There was a bit of lag and all that sort of stuff. But they were different developers and publishers that made that particular game. This one, however, Saber Interactive are publishers and, of course, developers of some very big name games like Space Marine 2, Jurassic Park Survival. They've got one that's coming up, A Quiet Place: The Road Ahead. They've also
Ears perked up.
got. Yeah, I know, right? It's a horror game.
Yeah. I'm like, come again.
They've also made the Evil Dead game. Teardown is also another one that they've published. SnowRunner is a game they've developed. So they have developed and published quite a few games. So, like, I can see where they would be. As for Paramount Game Studios, if I can Paramount. Sorry, I am like live Googling at the moment.
I love it.
Paramount Game Studios, they've made not many that I've heard of. Oh, actually no, they've helped with like Roblox, which is a really big particular game, but they do a lot more of the Nickverse, like the Nickelodeon style games, because it's Paramount.
Right.
And in, like the SpongeBob games and Jimmy Neutron and all that sort of stuff, and
The stuff that
so
they own.
Yeah, essentially the IP that they own, publish and develop some of those games. That I think, with that being said, it might still turn out to be pretty good with the collaboration of Saber Interactive and Paramount Games together. Considering that they're already calling it's going to be a AAA RPG game, it's going to be a big game.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's going to be an open worldy kind of game as well. We're going to be getting an avatar that we've never seen before, so we'll be playing as an avatar that no one's heard of.
I'm guessing you
which would
make
be
your
really
own.
good. Or that, if they have a character design, they've got a character designer, man, I'd go nuts for that. That'd be awesome. To see myself in the world as an avatar, like, heck yeah. That'd be so good. Yeah, so RPG, this could work as an RPG, to be honest. But like I said, it really depends on their gameplay, whether they're gonna make it turn-based or action-based in terms of this RPG. Like you, Kendall, I would actually like to see some gameplay footage. The first thing we're definitely going to be seeing when they do bring out some sort of marketing videos, it will be a cinematic trailer, just to get the gamers all enticed and sort of grab their attention in that sort of style. I'm also interested into what type of story they're going to tell with this particular game, and also how long it's going to take. So if this is going to be a AAA game, especially being an RPG, it could vary between it being a short, sort of a 50-hour romp, to something up towards 80 to 100 hours, kind of like a Persona style game. And I hope it's not that long, because I don't know how long. I'm not the type of person who plays a lot of the longer games. I like a good short game, something that I can finish under 50 hours. If this is a game that can be done and like played through in under 50 hours, I'll be happy to play it. Like, just mainlining the story, I mean. If it's in terms of like 100%ing it and getting all the achievements and trophies, whatever, and it goes over 50, that's a different story. It's just more of I just want to know what to expect from this game, because they haven't really given us much at this point in time. All they've said is, it's coming. It's in development. You're going to get it at some point. I don't think it's going to be next year. I feel like this might be a 2026 game, potentially, at the earliest. But I'd be surprised if it's going to be announced for like a Q3, Q4 2025, but we'll see.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I can't imagine this coming out next year. Yeah.
I'd say 2026 might be the earliest, but it might even be a little bit after that too.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Fulya. That was awesome. Mike, what about your thoughts?
I can't really add too much, but I'll just have my rough ideas. Considering Avatar is more focused towards like kiddie stuff, I don't think it's going to be something huge. But you do have that generational thing as well now, where people who are pretty much our age that would have watched it all the way back when are now adults now, and they've got adult money, so they would actually wouldn't mind like playing something like this. So it probably won't be too. Probably the story won't be too long. I don't think, because it would be catering for more of an everybody. Probably an open world, but I think it will be more linear than that. I'm thinking more maybe like a, off the top of my head, like a Rocksteady game, like being its own map, but part of the world as well. So yeah, like a Red Dead Redemption or a GTA maybe, but with less violence.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do go for a bit of a linear sort of a story. It would make a bit more sense.
Yeah.
More than it would if it was an open world. So
like a Skyrim, where you build your own character and you set out to do like quests and all that, and then there is like an overarching thing, but there's still like side quests you can do in different areas. So you can play it for as long as you want, or just go to and done. So, but possibly that, and yeah, you can create your own character, so you can be yourself.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
So if they're doing that, it probably wouldn't be canon to any canon, because it's a made up one that you have yourself. So it's your own individual sort of thing. But and the power set that you choose to be, you choose which tribe you're going to be in, and then you learn. And then there's one element that is very hard to do. So that will be your final boss thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting take.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Same.
But I'm not that big in the RPG sort of thing. I like my I'm like you. I like my linear thing. That I like my hand being dragged. You know.
Yeah. Now you like being guided along in the story.
I just wanted to live the story. I don't want to make choices, and sometimes I get I wouldn't say bored, just disinterested. It's like I forgot where I am, and because I set it down for way too long, it's like I need to start over again. That's why I haven't finished Breath of the Wild, and
okay.
And I haven't started Tears of the Kingdom, even though I've got Tears of the Kingdom, because I want to finish Breath of the Wild, but I haven't finished Breath of the Wild, you know?
Yeah.
One day.
I'm slowly getting into RPGs a little bit more. I never used to be an RPG player myself, but if Avatar The Last Airbender, if this particular AAA game, does it right, if they do it right, they might hook me in really well, and just like hook, line, and sinker. I might actually be like going for it all the way through, and I'll probably sink a lot of hours into it if it's done well.
Yeah, Fisher Price, my first RPG. It's really good. So when is this coming out, Kendall?
Yep. Iron friendly renew. All right. Speaking of things coming out soon, that's the nerdy news, which means now it's time to roll on up to the trailer park.
Rolling up to the trailer park where we all park all the trailers. Yeehaw.
Bam, bam.
Bam, bam. Alright, trailer park time. First cab off the rank is a new trailer for Nosferatu. amazing. I can't wait. I can't wait to watch this movie. Mike's doing his gentleman impression. That's what it looks like.
My gentleman impression. Hello.
No, like from Buffy, like the
Ah,
like. Yes, yes. No, he was doing an Nosferatu impression.
I love that scene.
It's so good, yeah.
Where they all just
They're just applauding each other.
and he
yeah,
went,
like,
"Oh, stop."
oh, stop it. Bless. Yeah, I love that moment. Anyway, love a random Buffy sidebar. Nosferatu. This looks great. This looks great. I said it last trailer for this. I was in on this movie when they announced it. This trailer just looks so good. I loved so many of the visuals here, and bits of dialogue, and like I thought it was so cool when the main character, played by Lily Rose Depp, and she's like talking about how things go really bad and all these people die and get killed by a thing, and then she's like, I saw, like, she talked about seeing it, and she's like, it was death and blah blah blah, and then she goes and then she says something like she was happy to see it, or she wanted to, like, so I really kind of liked that, like, that's part of the vampire thrall, I suppose. That was really cool, like, because she looks terrified, and then all of a sudden she's really happy and she starts laughing. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be a journey. And then I really like the ending shot of the trailer where she's on one side of the frame, and on the other side you get the wind blowing the curtains in, and in the curtains is the shadow of Nosferatu, and it just comes and goes. Like, mwah. Yes, it looks fantastic. I can't wait. I have nothing else to say. I'm just so excited. It looks incredible. Cool. Well, Fulya didn't watch this trailer because it is a spooky one.
I think I've seen the first trailer, like not this one, the one previous to this.
Yeah, the teaser, I think.
I think, yeah, it was randomly, and I'm just like, yeah, this is not for me. But in saying that, I did play a demo for a game that's called Cabernet, which is also a vampire game. But it's a sort of a visual novel interactive narrative game, and you're a character that just turned into a vampire, and then there are choices to be made, but you also have to be careful of the choices that you make, because it can impact your humanity, or you could be nihilistic. So you have to be careful about that, and then you have to learn things as you go along to see where it all kind of turns you. So, but Cabernet is kind of code, if you know what Cabernet is. It's a type of wine.
Yes, it is.
But in this game, Cabernet is blood.
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun. Yeah.
I like it.
Where?
Yeah. It's a bit of it's a game. Like, but I can understand it from the vibes of the game. In terms of the way the story's going and all that sort of stuff, and the fact that you are gonna have to, sink your teeth into, literally, some people or animals to drink some blood. So, yeah.
I need to find this game.
It's on Steam. It's coming soon.
Oh, it's coming out soon.
It hasn't been released yet, but there is a demo, so you can definitely play it.
Okay.
Life,
Thanks, Fulya.
Life is a Cabernet.
I was gonna say, Kendall, I think you'd be okay with playing this, because there's not too much to do. It's literally sort of a point and click kind of a game.
Oh, cool. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just need mouse.
The clown.
Yeah, just need mouse.
Yes. Just need Mr. Mouse.
Mr.
And everything's
Mouse.
okay. Mr. Mouse. Great. Thanks, Fulya. That's nice.
That's right. That's my little sidebar to.
I love it.
Thing. And
It's
it's
great.
vampires, so it's kind of related.
Yeah.
It is. It's most definitely related. Yes. Love it. Thank you. Mike, what did you think of it?
Yeah. I was all for this. I don't need this trailer, but I want to watch it anyway because it just sounds like something that I could really get into. Like, how would you update a over 100-year-old movie? That's pretty much still in the zeitgeist, and there's not many things that can do that from 100 years. I mean, yeah, it's along with Frankenstein and Dracula, but this is more notorious because we all know what the creature looks like, and and I love I love that they're playing with not really seeing and seeing as well, because it's the perfect way to actually combat this, and following the victim's POV is also good. And I love the people that are in it, and the people who are behind the camera as well. It's going to be a vibe. It's going to be fun, and I would suggest Fulya probably watch the original, because I think it's, being an old. There's no dialogue or anything like that, so there is a lot of reading. So it's got your anime vibes that you have to read the dialogue.
Oh no, there's reading. Damn.
I don't want to read while I'm looking at things.
Exactly. I don't want to be reading.
but even the movie, in a weird way, sort of holds up. It's great, and just the visual aspect of it is very good for over 100-year-old film, which it is based on. I loved it, and I'm going to see it. When is it coming out?
Yes, well, unfortunately, the trailer does say it comes out Christmas, but that is for overseas folk, because for us here in Australia, it's going to be out on New Year's Day 2025.
Have fun with that New Year's Day.
Oh, what a way to start the year!
Right?
I'm so here for it.
Come with us.
Come with us, Fulya. Come join.
Join us.
Join
You know.
She's like, I've got garlic on the inside of my jacket.
We're tapping on the window. Come play with us, Danny.
Come play with us. Okay.
Forever and ever and ever. That's not a vampire thing.
It's not, but it's still creepy as fuck, so it works.
Still need to watch Salem's Lot. That's another thing that I need to watch.
It's getting bad reviews.
I don't care. There's a lot of bad adaptations of Stephen King.
Oh, there's so many.
Oh, there's so many.
There's so many. There's more. There's probably more bad adaptations than good ones, I would say. But hey, there's still good stories.
It's a vibe.
Yeah, it's a vibe. I'll probably still watch Salem's Lot, but I wanted it to do well. Is more the way I complained about the bad reviews. But it's fine. All right, we got another.
I've had enough of the internet dogpiling.
Yeah, me too. Jesus Christ. The downfalls of fandom. Anyway, trailer 2 this week. Trailer 2 is for a show that I'm very keen to check out, and it's kicking off this week actually, which is exciting. This is a show called The Franchise, co-produced by Sam Mendes and Armando Iannucci. It's a send-up of the making of superhero movies.
Gee,
And
I wonder where that idea came from.
And I absolutely love that we have some very notable actors who have worked on actual superhero projects, actually in this cast, like Richard E. Grant, for example. Clearly he was keen to get back in a costume. And then we have Daniel Bruhl, Baron Zemo. He's playing. Yeah, bring back the Zemo dance. Bring it back. It's the best thing about COVID, the Zemo dance.
The best thing about COVID?
Okay. No. God no. It was a highlight. But anyway, he's playing a a director, I think, is the character he is on this. And then Aya Cash from The Boys is looks like she's the female lead. But that's a bit different in terms of The Boys is fucking bonkers and it's superhero satire anyway. But like, yeah, it just tickled me that there's like prominent MCU actors in this thing. I can't wait to kind of watch this. I like he was great in Yesterday. Watch that movie if you haven't seen it. It's a good time. And he seems to be leading the cast here. And I had such a chuckle over the the health and safety part at the end of this trailer. It was great. It was very funny, very well delivered by him. I thought it was good. But yeah, I kind of can't wait to see what the show explores, the meta comedy, the themes it takes on, and the performances from the cast. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching this. I'm looking forward to it. What about you, Fulya? What did you think of this?
Yeah, I don't know about this one for me. When I watched the trailer, I'm just like, okay, I can see where some of the humor's coming from. And, you know, it's also kind of like a heightened reality version of being on set of a superhero film, I suppose. And they're definitely going to be poking fun at how that's all been filmed and all the behind the scenes stuff that happens, apparently. And, like, it looks interesting, but it's also a little I don't know, like, I feel like it's going to be a little meta in a way that I don't want to know if this is... I know this is, like I said, it's heightened reality, so it's not going to be 100% accurate to what it actually is on set and stuff like that, but I don't want it to ruin my vision of what it would be like to be on the set. If you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, Fulya's like, I still have that dream. I do not want this dream crushed before I can achieve it. That's amazing.
I'm like, I know that this is like this, especially Himesh Patel's character being this. I think he's like, is he a director or a producer? Or
I think he's a
like
producer. I'm guessing.
Yeah. The fact that he has, and even on the poster of the actual show, it's got lights, camera, anxiety. I get how how stressful making a film could be and is. Never worked on one, but I can totally understand the stresses of working on a film set or on a TV set even. So I think this is going to be sort of showing us just how stressful it can get. And I know that in the back of my mind that it's very hard work to be in the entertainment industry, and to also be, you know, to be seen from that industry as well. It's not easy to get in there. You know, case in point, I've been trying so hard for the last decade. It's been very difficult. Even here in Australia, it's been very difficult. And so, yeah, I'm not sure that I'm going to be watching this just purely because of the fact that I just don't want that whole... I don't want my dream ruined, okay? I don't want to be crushed. I want to keep living that dream until I get there and find out for myself.
And then your soul will be crushed.
Then I'll be crushed.
Yeah. At least I earn the crushing.
Yeah. Then I'll be ready. How about you, Michael? What did you think of this trailer?
I like the people involved and I like the premise. But what we got is, I don't know, it seems a bit a small concept of trying to make one film. But is it? And yeah, it's got like some of the worst things that would happen at an MCU sort of aspect. But I think they're probably going to touch on a lot more, like trying to get a franchise up and running, because that's the thing, that if it's not a franchise, then it will be dead in the water, and the audiences don't want that. They want something that's got a connected universe. But I think, devil's advocate, I think the audience nowadays are sort of going beyond that. I think they're looking for something like else and something more. But within this aspect that they're doing, I think considering we've only seen like them trying to do one film, it's sort of touching on the Dark Universe, if we all remember that, where the Mummy was being made, and it's like that was the catapult to make this Dark Universe of having all these universal monsters having their own universe sort of thing, and it was dead in water after one movie because that flopped. So I'm thinking they probably touch on a lot of things, and yeah, having like established people from different aspects would help as well. But I don't know. I think we have seen the sort of aspect in The Boys as well, with their Vought movie sort of side of each superhero having their own franchise, and we see like the Marvel plan phase thing, and I'm only going to be assuming that they're probably going to do a scene like that. It's like, okay, this movie is going to start this, and then we're going to have spin-offs and TV shows, and by the end of it, it probably falls flat, and I don't know. But will I watch it? I don't know. I don't know if I would. On the aspect that I've probably seen it before, and there is a lot of stuff that I need to catch up on. Firefly for one. I'm going to say if there's Firefly. And One Piece. I need to get up to where you are, Fulya, with the One Piece.
I don't think you're ever going to catch up.
Ah.
Unless I completely just do a giant halt in my watching of One Piece. That would give you a chance to catch up.
I'll watch it in X2 speed, and I'll watch the fan edit that edits all the filler and the recaps, and also the flashbacks as well.
In order for you to catch up, I'm pretty sure there is a list out there that gives you what you need to watch in terms of what episodes to watch and the episodes to skip.
Yeah,
but I'm just watching it all.
Yeah, there is a website. There is a website called One Phase, I think.
Okay.
So, and they've did a fan edit, and you can download it and watch it, and you can watch it online as well. So,
I see.
Illegally, but you know, it fell off the back of a truck. I can't help that. So where's this film? Series coming out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the franchise.
So I was in the middle of a burp.
Oh, that's okay. The franchise will be out this week. If you're in the States, the date is the 6th of October, but for us here in Oz, it's the 7th. So tomorrow, it'll be airing on Binge or Max.
You'll have already probably seen it.
Yeah. Hopefully it's good.
Yes.
Yes. All right. One more trailer to talk about before we move on out of here. And it's a teaser trailer for an upcoming biopic that has got me very curious. And that is, of course, the teaser trailer for Better Man. This is the long gestating, it seems, because I first heard about this film like 2 years ago, I think. COVID. Yeah, long gestating Robbie Williams biopic. And I really, really like the fact that it's going down an unorthodox route. There's some very blatant surrealism going on here because the role of Robbie Williams will be portrayed by a chimpanzee. And I kind of like that as, like, I mean, Robbie's doing the voice for the character, I think, too, and doing VO narration in this trailer, at least. And I like that he's he kind of talks about how he's like, I've always felt like, I'm not as evolved as an actual human, or whatever the line was. But I also, was there? Hang on, I was trying to think. Was there some other time in his career he's used a chimp for something, but I can't remember if that's true or not now. But anyway, whatever. Maybe I'm just really tired, which I am. But yeah, anyway, that aside, it looks cool, looks fun. I'm excited to learn more about his life and career, and how he got to where he is. I don't really know too much about him behind the scenes, so I'd be curious to see what there is to unpack in terms of what his experience is, becoming a very successful pop star, and still having an enduring kind of career now. Like, he's every time he comes to Australia, he sells out. Like, he's still very popular, which is really cool. But he's very talented, so it makes sense. But yeah, and so I kind of like the angle with the chimp, kind of bringing you in and like telling it in a different sort of sense. But yeah, I don't know. And I'm pretty sure they filmed most of it, if not all of it, here in Australia. Actually, speaking of him coming here, so yeah, so that's cool too. So I have the guy who did The Greatest Showman, so that's a win. That's definitely a win. So speaking of, I will throw to Fulya on that wonderful segue, because I know how much you love that movie.
Oh, yeah.
So what did you think of this teaser?
Well, yeah, it is a very unique way of telling a story about a famous name. I suppose, if Robbie Williams knows that the way, especially with that line he uses in the movie trailer of, he always felt like he wasn't really that evolved. Then it's pretty cool that they've decided to just go with the idea of using a monkey, sort of a human sort of monkey. I hope they do the CG well. Though I don't know. There were points in the trailer that it kind of threw me off a bit. When we got the full face talking monkey face. Yeah, I hope it's better in the film.
You think a talking monkey is unrealistic?
In this context, yes. But yeah, it's also the fact that it's Robbie Williams. Like, of course it's gonna be different. He's the guy that entertains the masses, and he'll do it his own way. And I'm not surprised that this is the way that they've decided to go. And I'm pretty sure he's pretty excited about that. It also looks like there's gonna be younger versions of Robbie in this film, which means he'll be portrayed by other actors as well, which is interesting. And yeah, I am curious. I won't say that I'm all in, but I am curious. Yeah.
Yep, that's fair enough. That is fair enough. Cool. Thank you for your thoughts. Mike, are you curious about this?
I don't know much about Robbie Williams. I do like his music. And sort of a bizarre concept of having him being a monkey. And the only thing that I can think of is the life of a performing monkey. Metaphor. I can sort of get it now. Yeah, music as well. Being I like the fact that there's these like artist biopics that are doing something different and not in necessarily traditional biopic. I mean, yeah, like like especially with the Pharrell Williams movie that's coming out soon. That's all going to be in Lego form, and yeah, in a way, Rocket Man as well. It was very out of the ordinary, and how it's dealing with linear stuff, and how that had the music not necessarily accurate on when it was performed. Like some music fitted well when he was young, and so on and so on, and usually you have a biopic if the artist is dead, but there's a lot of them that they're still around, and they're still performing and touring, and all this. This is just going to be a snapshot of where they are now, and yeah, I'm sort of interested. It will probably be a nice movie date with the wife, because I think she likes Robbie Williams. I'm not too sure. She hasn't said boo about him, but I'll probably show her the trailer and say, "Oh, that's nice."
I wouldn't be surprised if she is a fan.
Yeah, but I don't think she's a fan of Planet of the Apes, so it's going to be a hard sell. I mean, I love Planet of the Apes. Cautionary tale.
A win-win for both.
Yeah. I like monkeys. So when is this monkey coming out? Muted.
Mute again. Fuck my life. Better man. One day I'll stop coughing and then I won't have to mute myself. Better Man is coming out on the 26th of December, Boxing Day. Nice little Christmas treat for Robbie Williams.
Unfortunately, we'll be probably watching Sonic 3.
Oh, no.
What do you mean, oh no?
Unfortunately.
We like them.
Well, that'd be more of a post-retail mayhem movie for us.
Yes.
Boxing Day.
Yeah. I need something fun and enjoyable. There we go. Robbie Williams as a monkey.
Yeah.
Robbie Williams as a monkey.
What about Jim Carrey as a fat man?
A bald fat man.
A bald fat man with a huge mustache. Sky's the limit.
The sky's the limit. All right, let's move on because we've got one more segment to do today, and that is, of course, the moment, the section, the part, the place, the thing, the spot in the show we like to call
Yeet!
Culture.
Popcorn culture.
A popcorn culture. Yes, popcorn culture time, and we are going to be talking about our thoughts on Only Murders in the Building, Season 4, Episode 6, Blow Up.
Wow. A student film.
A student film. Indeed. Indeed. Overall thoughts on this episode. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was fun. I'll get into my thoughts on the style. I kind of want to talk about that as a point of discussion with you guys. So that was cool, and I don't know, just more of the same antics with the people living in the Arconia and the investigation, and them weaving and figuring things out, and I don't know, I just this episode, I don't think it did a huge amount for me, other than it just kind of confirmed that I don't like the name Dudanoff at all. Just the name itself, for some reason, I just don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know.
Someone with the name of Duvanoff is probably crying in their sleep right
now.
now.
I'm sorry. I don't mean it personally. If that's your name, then own it and live it and love it.
Is that right, Richardson?
Yeah, you've got a generic name. Shut up.
Yeah, common as mud.
Yeah, common as fucking mud. Yeah. Good.
I'm named
anyway.
after a character from space.
Place. Love it. Yeah. I don't really have too much to really say up top. That it was a fine episode. There were some funny moments. Concept was really cool. And then some interesting developments in terms of the plot. So, Fulia, what did you think overall?
Kind of a refreshing take in terms of the visual aspect of this episode. That it was a nice sort of a breakup from the same kind of thing that we've been getting since the start of the series, and it also gave us extra perspectives on what was actually happening in other places around the building, and the fact that we were going from camera to camera all over the place, in the rooms, on secret cameras and on handheld ones, and a very sort of like found footage style kind of an episode. So it was an interesting take on the episode, and I found it entertaining. It did also get slightly distracting for my brain because it meant that I was like the framing was always off for a lot of things, but I know that was the style they were going for anyway because of the way the cameras were set up. So it makes sense, but my eyes were just like, but they're not in frame properly, or the camera's upside down, or
So, as a cinematographer, you were just going, no. Headspace.
My brain was just, going off, essentially. It was blowing up in my head. But no, it was still good. We still got to, learn a little bit more about the characters, and we find out who gets shot at the start of the episode, and I'm just like, oh, okay. So that's interesting too. And it's it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. Like, apart from my brain going crazy with all the different camera angles, and it was still good. Yeah.
Nice. Mike, what about?
I did like this episode. It definitely changed it up with the visual stylings, and it does. There's always one episode where they sort of change it up a bit, like with the first season, it had the silent episode where it all takes place with
The great
just
episode.
music and all that. So, and I love the fact that they sort of experiment with that. And with this, it was a lot of fun because with the found footage sort of thing, and also the different cameras that they use as well was
the
kind of
different
cool.
cameras, like the old school ones with the different like filter looking. Yeah, they were really cool too.
Like I definitely like Oliver's VHS one where, and you can tell that it was a digital retransfer as well, which was fun because it had that sort of like grain that had from VHS, but it's now digital, and I'm kind of glad that they put that down because it just looks awful.
Yeah.
It just looks awful. I mean, I love the aspect that it sort of had, but if they had that all throughout the rest of the things, like nah. Yeah, and including the film cameras as well, like the old ones as well with the brothers, sisters.
Yeah.
And that was a bit of fun too. But I think one drawback that I sort of had was sort of the blocking as well. It's when you're sort of doing a multicam sort of thing, but it just looked, the way that the characters were actually positioned, stilted, and there was no real much movement and like natural movement when it came to the characters, like interacting with each other. And I thought, they could have done something like that. Like, it would have been more would have been more difficult if they didn't have their marks and they just roam free and trying to catch her. But I don't know, it kind of may have looked a bit more like realistic in a non-realistic setting show. Yeah, so it did work in some places and it didn't work in others, but yeah, and not to go into the sort of style of episode it was, but I did enjoy it nonetheless, and everything that I expected in this, in the sort of mystery of it, I've now scrapped because everything has changed now.
Yeah.
Everything has changed. Yes. All right. Cool. Well, I guess I'll just give my thoughts on the visual style then, considering you guys both just did it anyway.
Sorry.
Good job.
It just came
Anyway.
out naturally.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It was gleamingly obvious the thing.
Gleamingly obvious.
Can't really
It's
get
fine.
around it.
Yeah, no, I like I said, I enjoyed it, and just as a concept with, I like a lot of the episodes, like in this show, focus on certain characters as we kind of get to know who they are, especially if they're suspects, like figuring out if they are legitimate suspects or not, or or if they're just red herrings is fun. And so for them to be able to use the brothers sisters as this a way of doing a special kind of episode using the different cameras, and not just like their cameras, like you guys said, like using Oliver's own camera and other cameras along the way, security, CTV footage and stuff, security footage. So yeah, so that's really cool. I can see Fulya why you would be like, oh, this is so much, because some of the scenes it does cut back a bit.
Yeah.
Fast. It doesn't stick on one. Like I remember that, as much as I love the bringing out or making a point to bring out Oliver's VHS tape, I was like, we didn't get to see it properly for long enough, I think, because I thought it would have been very funny if they dragged it out a bit longer. But B, they kept cutting back and forth between the Super 8 footage and the VHS footage, which was interesting. And it was a bit
Yeah, a bit jarring. Yeah.
Yeah. I liked the Super 8 footage, the way film just looks as a visually, like it's just really, really cool. Very obviously very retro, and and just visually, yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. The found footage genre of horror movies, subgenre of horror movies is one that I dabble in sometimes. So it's kind of fun to see when it's sort of used in different mediums. So yeah, I think on the whole I thought it was really cool how they did that, especially because again we were focusing on the brothers sisters and Bex, and then learning about Dudenoff and all of that stuff. So yeah, so that was very cool. I don't really. Oh, okay. Well, one scene I really wanted to talk about that I was probably my favorite part of the episode was the scene where they go, like when after they watch the brothers sisters student film, The Desecration of Alice, and then they see that Vince is in it, and they're like, "Hang on a second."
Let's
and
pause here.
Yeah. Then they immediately go over to see what's all this about. And then I just loved how that kind of played out, and like I just love the way Richard Kind just sells complete naivete and like innocence and just genuine, like too pure for this world, like just his facial expressions, the way he smiles, like yeah, I'm an actor, like he's just so happy about it.
Oh, I was in that one.
I was in that. No, yeah, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. That was fun. Getting to see Rudy again was also cool. The seeing the two of them interact with each other and on screen was fun, and I loved the sequence with the drone. Like, It was so brief, but it was just so funny. Like, fuck,
Yeah.
Charles, just my guy. What are you doing? Like, you had one
Don't close the
job.
window. Just get out of the way.
I know. Don't close the window for one, and don't say something like, "Oh, Dudanov's back in town," and then like they immediately went off fucking target. Like, oh man, yeah. It was. And then I just, a cherry on top was just the what the fuck coming from someone below.
Someone must have got hit by the drone.
I love that. Just a well placed off-screen fuck.
Yeah,
It's just it's my bread and butter.
Yeah,
It's like, what
it
the
was good.
fuck?
What the fuck? It was so funny. I loved it. Fulya, what did you think of that scene? Did you have any thoughts?
Like honestly, even from like especially when Charles went into the room, the one thing that he noticed from Vince, the eye patch, it's on the other side now. Oh, apparently the conjunctivitis, it travels.
Yeah, which he does establish from previous episodes.
Yeah, but obviously Charles forgot about that, and so did I. And Vince is just like, yeah, it's normal. It travels. So that was hilarious. And then, yeah, just sort of like seeing Vince and Rudy together, and they're super excited about drone working, and they're like trying to get it on its maiden voyage and on its first flight, and then getting a little bit of like camera angles from the drone itself, because we know nowadays a lot of movies and shows have started using drones, especially for like flying scenes or for establishing shots. Drones are really good for that sort of stuff. So the fact that they decided to add in a drone into this episode while they're still in the freaking apartment, it was hilarious. So I liked that sort of back and forth of them trying to get this thing up and running, and then the moment they get it actually out, like the fact that it's also Vince who's controlling this drone. And I'm like, why isn't Rudy doing it? I felt like Rudy would be the one that would know more about the tech than Vince would, but you know.
Well, Vince can keep an eye on it. Singular.
An eye, yes, yeah.
Yeah, one eye at a time.
Yeah.
Then we have Rudy just, getting his phone up to film the drone doing the thing, and I'm just like, let the drone do all the camera work. What are you doing?
Oh no, that was the live feed. Because he was seeing.
No, was it?
Yeah, he was seeing the live feed.
No, it looked like he was actually filming it.
Yeah.
Or was it the live feed? I don't know. It could have been.
Can't remember. Rewatch.
Rewatch.
Yeah, I only watched this today too.
Yeah, same.
I can't remember.
Yeah, no, it was interesting.
Yeah.
It was entertaining. Put it that way.
It was entertaining. Yeah, I again, I'm gonna just keep coming back every single week to shout out my girl, Detective Williams, making a grand entrance. Just immediately ready to throw hands, because she's like, I told you to leave Zach Galifianakis unharmed.
Yep.
So yeah, of course, one of the big things from last week's episode was the fact that there was another cliffhanger that involved a shooting happening, or something happening at the end, and yeah, it turns out it was a shooting. And then Glenn, I nearly said Ben Glenn Murray again. Fucking hell. Glenn Stubbins got wounded, so we didn't really get to see Paul Rudd in this episode, but we did get a brief shot of Zach Galifianakis in one moment that I thought was fantastic. Just mobile phone footage of him complaining about how Bev Mellon was just like, I want out
Threatening
of this movie. Yeah, she threatened to sue me, and then she basically drank all of my painkillers. And now, like, she's fucking psycho. I love that moment. But yeah, Detective Williams was the one that was like, this is what went down, and they're gonna be fine, and blah blah blah. And yeah, I thought that was very funny. And then she was the one that also brought in Zaz's remains. The rest of what was of her in the incinerator. And then she mentioned that Jan's back in New York somewhere doing mischief things, so she's gonna show up again at some point. And then Dudenoff is apparently in town, which we find out later is not true. Something shady going on. Yeah, I kind of like how Detective Williams is kind of here to be like, I'm going to drop plot-related things and then I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm going to do it in the most sassiest, amazing way possible.
So you better
I
pay
thought
attention.
yeah, I thought she was cool. Do either of you have any notes, any thoughts on the things we learnt from her in this sequence?
Yeah. Cool that she's coming back just to eat the ass of these three. Like being like being like, it was like my ass is in a sling because you guys yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of 80s tropes. I love it. But what will happen at the end? I don't know. I don't know where I was going with this.
It's okay. That's okay. Fully, did you have anything you wanted to divulge from
Look, Detective
moment?
Williams is just great. Just love getting little snippets of her when she walks into the room. We know we're gonna get the sass. We know that she's serious. She's just gonna give us information, and then she's gonna walk out of there because she just can't deal with them. Which is always fun to see. The thing though, I don't know if this is anyway. Let's leave it at that. I feel like I'd be going ahead if I
theories.
start talking. Yeah.
Same.
Okay, we can put a pin in it.
Yeah, pin.
Yes, very good. Cool. Well, before we get into the plot details of that related to that stuff, I just wanted to quickly do another mention of the Oliver Loretta storyline. got a little
Too
brief.
much more. We got
No.
a little bit, but it's not like what happened in the last episode.
No, but it kind of felt like 2 steps forward, 1 step back for me, because it was like Oliver, after that great conversation he had with Mabel last week about I was going to propose, and now I maybe realize I should have, was a great moment. And then this week he comes in and he's like, I'm going to tell her how I feel and what I want to do. And, I'd been thinking about my life and I nearly died today. I don't want to die without her knowing how I feel and that I want to be with her for the rest of my life. And it's really beautiful, and really sweet. And then it's just completely undercut by stupid comedic moment, which I know it's comedy and it's silly and it's whatever, but I didn't like it. Like, the fact that Oliver's calling her and he's having this heart-to-heart, like, I want to marry you, I want to come to LA. And then, because she's still on set and she's covered in bandages and plaster and all she can do is,
Gross.
And my mind went, before they revealed what she looked like, my mind went to, oh, she's hooking up with that junk dude from last week. Or like they're filming a love scene or something, and because it sounded kind of like a, not entirely an unpained noise, but it also sounded like a very disinterested noise, which is weird. So then the fact that we cut to her just in bed in the middle of shooting a scene, and I don't know. And then now Oliver's all like, oh, okay, so the love of my life doesn't love me. Okay, great. I hate everything. I don't like it.
timing of his call couldn't be.
Couldn't have been worse. Couldn't have been worse.
It's like a
I get-
French farce.
Yes. Fulya, what did you think of how that played out?
Yeah, I was a little bit like, I don't know that I was that annoyed about it, but it did make me feel a bit meh too, in a way, just because of the fact that he's pouring his heart out on the phone, and all we're getting is Loretta just grunting and making noises, and it's like it disheartens Oliver, and he's like, she doesn't care about me anymore, kind of a feeling. And then you kind of feel sorry for him. But also, I feel like Oliver, like, yes, he had a moment, a life and death experience, and he really would prefer not to die without telling Loretta how he feels. But at the same time, he's alive now. Get through that without a scratch on him, he's fine, and he he could have just sort of done a better job about calling at a better time, maybe. I don't know.
So is that...
Yeah, but that's the thing. He thought she would have been done filming. Like, he specifically says she'd be done filming for the day.
And this is
Yeah,
overtime.
I think he got his time zone.
Probably. Yeah. I'm not surprised. I'm not.
Yeah.
It's Oliver after
It's
all.
Oliver. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So is
But
that...
it's also like the fact that we also then get the image of, like, as soon as he's done with the call, we switch straight over to Loretta all wrapped up in a hospital bed for a scene in a movie or show that she's doing, and you're immediately just like, oh, Oliver misunderstood what was happening. She could not speak at all for this reason. This is annoying.
Yeah, she couldn't speak, or maybe hear, because it's all wrapped up.
That too.
Is
Yeah,
it?
I reckon it was
Is
all
it?
muffled. I reckon on her end. Yeah.
So you're saying that Oliver, after having a near-death experience, should get over it?
Not really.
Come on, it's
I don't know.
America. Come on,
I
man.
don't know.
Come on,
I don't know
man.
what I'm thinking. All right.
Get over it, man. Oliver's been shot at least once or twice in her life.
He lives in New York.
Yeah. In America. And the show's called Murders in the Building. Only. Deaths.
In that building. Only murders in that building. Only.
That one.
Only in that one. He's living in where the murder per capita is just the highest in the entire world.
And we get to find out there was murders before murders in the building.
I know.
Good
Do we want to talk about that? Unless Mike has anything to add to the Loretta situation.
More or less saying, yeah, this storyline is going on. Just a reminder.
Yes.
Didn't
Yeah.
really add
yeah.
much.
No.
And anyway.
Anyway, yes. Murder. Yes. So, yeah, I found this really interesting as well. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. But yeah, it turns out, not only is Dudenoff back in New York, he's dead in New York.
Mixed
because
in with Daz's ashes.
yes,
At least 3 years ago.
Yeah, because the dog Gravy, bless Howard's dog, is accidentally spills the remains out of the carton, and then they realize that they actually have 2 artificial shoulders left.
2 left shoulders. Yeah.
Left shoulders. 2 left artificial shoulders. Now, this is where my only gripe with this whole bit comes in. How would the mortician or the crematorium or whomever did not realize that there were 2 left shoulders?
Yeah.
In this,
That
which
was
makes
where my brain was at too.
good. I'm so glad I'm not the only one. Because that's either going to be a huge oversight that we're not supposed to dwell on, or B, that means something is up with like something else, I guess. Like, I don't know. It just seemed a bit too obvious to be like,
Yeah.
that's weird. That's weird.
Like, why,
Um,
how do they not realize that this is
Yeah,
two different shoulders and
that
not
they've put
two from the same?
two left shoulders in the same, unless someone's like giving the trio a clue,
Yeah,
maybe to find out what's going on. I don't know. So that's interesting. But yeah, yeah, we
I
find
think
out
they're
that
gonna. I don't think they're gonna like touch on that. Like the how it got in there, kind of touch on it. They're not gonna
Ooh.
explain that. They
Are
probably
you,
won't explain it.
are you thinking that what's his name? Dusanoff?
Dude, no.
Dudenoff.
Is really alive. And
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time.
and they're looking for a one-armed man.
It wasn't me. It was the
The
one-armed
one-armed
man. Wow. Yeah. Okay. That could be fun.
That's a possibility.
Mhm. That is a possibility.
Same as the possibility that it all could be Steve Martin in real life is trying to kill them.
You're still sticking to that theory.
well, we'll probably get into it later, but the killer does know Dusanoff. May have been a film person. Yeah, taking his classes as well. So, and someone who's down in their luck and still cashing his checks.
I'm really surprised and curious to find out who the killer is going to be at the end of this. Considering, given all that, by all of that description, it sounds like it's someone we haven't met yet.
Yeah.
But we're like halfway through the season, aren't we?
I feel like we may have met this person. I think we might have met this person.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they may have been like more of a background character that we haven't officially met, but they've been in scenes.
The grip.
Essentially. Yeah.
It's Howard all along. Got jealous of being sidelined. It's like my turn, my time to shine.
I would be so mad if Howard was actually a murderer. I love Howard.
Can't be him.
I love Howard. He's so good. Yeah. So yeah, they get the identity that it's Dudenoff's shoulder, apparently. Kind of convenient too that he just happened to have an artificial shoulder as well, and a left one also. So there could be. So again, like I can't remember which one of you said, but yeah, is Dudenoff even dead? Like, there's so many questions, in this. But I kind of like that as a twist, like Dudenoff being this guy that's sort of like a MacGuffin character that they're trying to get a hold of, trying to figure out, trying to find out what's going on here with him, and then now he's just dead. So yeah, I don't know. Interesting. Either of you have any other Dudenoff theories?
Yeah, I'm thinking there's probably someone in the crew, like selective crew, because now we know it's not just Charles that they're going for; it's all three. So
Yeah.
Kill all three.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I realized at the beginning of this episode. It's like, oh, so it's not just Charles. Okay.
Yeah. They're going after the three. Why? They're getting too close.
The one thing that did kind of irk me a little bit is it took them a while to realize that it wasn't just Charles for this particular episode. It took them like most of the episode to realize, oh no, they're actually after all three of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't know.
I don't know.
That's all very curious.
And also getting the drone was a bit weird.
Oh yeah?
Where does that fit? I don't know, something to do with them. That they're covering up for something. I don't know. Maybe it's all west side. It's going after
the Westies.
Going after the east wing.
Mm. Yes, that could be fun.
What about our building? We got murders in our building.
Well, because it would be interesting to see if, although it seems actually like, based on the way the episode ended with them finding their cameras that had been planted in all of their apartments, is it just the three of them, or do you think it's like, do you think there could be any cameras anywhere else, or do you think it's like a case of maybe it is, if it's someone in the West that doesn't, like, would there be any cameras in the West or no cameras in the West? Like, I don't know. Like, it's
maybe it's just them three, but it is interesting that it's someone who can get access into their place.
Yeah. I have a feeling that it's still going to be someone from the crew that had access to their apartments to plant them, apart from the brothers sisters.
And
did it.
they know the building inside and out to get in and out.
Maybe it is the writer. Like, maybe he's doing this whole bumbling personality for, as a show. I mean, that's a bit cliche, but
he's got a twin brother.
Marshall.
Yeah, Marshall. Maybe it's Marshall. Because I don't think it's the brothers sisters. Because I loved how they explored them in this episode and revealed who they were to us and their relationship to film and to Dude Enough and to, the fact that they outright admitted, oh no, we would kill for that man. But then the connection of them coming, the reason why they took on the movie so they could come back to the Arconia and reunite with him. Was kind of sweet, and then them finding out that he's dead. Yeah.
Probably that's why the footprints there as well, is because they went into his apartment. It's like, oh, he's not here, bugger.
Yeah.
Oh, while we're here, that's a good shot from here. That's a good shot from here, as in film shot.
Film shot.
The reason why there's a footprint on the mezzanine,
The windowsill.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Yes. Very true. Yeah.
And the whole sort of, with the brother sisters as well, the way that they decided to open this episode to make it as if it was that, one of them was in prison.
Yeah, that I
doing this documentary.
I didn't actually think they were in jail, but then I didn't completely write it off either.
Yeah.
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 Very funny.
And also, if thinking that where does this take place, it's like, oh, okay, so this is when everything is all said and done. But no, they were making this particular film after this particular episode.
Yeah. Their found footage documentary.
Yes. Behind the scenes with the behind the scenes of the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes squid.
That's like 16 walls.
It's like 16 walls. Fucking hell. So funny. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to add. I think I've pretty much said everything for my piece. Do you guys have any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Everything's been thrown back to the beginning of what's going on. And they've left.
Back to square one.
And they've left the building.
And they
fled.
Hightailed it out of there. That's right.
I reckon they've gone to LA.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, they've gone back to Zaz's
probably
safe
apartment.
House.
Safe house. Yeah. Oh, in New Jersey, the school.
In New Jersey.
New Jersey.
It's either that or they've gone to LA, and at least that way we'll actually get like the whole Loretta Oliver thing sort of.
Oh, it's a miscommunication. Yes, I will marry you. Let's go to Vegas. Hold on. Vegas? That's in LA, right? I don't know.
No. Well, it's the next state over, but no.
Yeah.
Like I've been to America. Wouldn't be caught dead there. With a gunshot wound.
Oh dear. Fair
So,
point.
yeah.
Yes.
Depends after November, though. Anyway.
Enough about that. We're not talking about that right now, right here. That's not what we're talking about. Cool. Well, shall we end it there, folks?
Yeah, nice and round.
Nice and round. Love it. Those are our thoughts on episode 6 of season 4 of Only Murders in the Building. Blow Up. That was fun. That was good. Good chat. Nice and quick. I like it. Cool. So we've only got a few episodes left. I think. What did someone say? There was 10 all up.
Yeah,
No.
I think that's the round number, 10. So this was the 6th, so 4 left.
6. Yes, correct. 4 left. So only 4 more weeks in the Arconia. Until we find out who killed Zaz and who maybe killed Dudenov and who is trying to kill our beloved trio of podcasters. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next week's episode is called Valley of the Dolls. Terrified by the threat inside the Arconin, the trio race out of the city. A member of Charlie's family provides refuge. Okay, so we were all wrong. And yet, this safe house proves to be anything but.
Oh, dun dun dun.
So Charles's family.
Charles's family. Interesting.
Charles has a twin brother called Steve Martin. I don't know. And he's jealous of his brother.
He's jealous of his brother and wants to replace him.
Yeah.
Oh, bless. Okay, that's popcorn culture, folks. We're done. Which means there's no more podcast to podcast. That is all the show. Everything. Thank you so much. A 1, a 2, a 3.
And
that
that was a podcast called Fred. Bang.
Remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for the latest Fred content.
If you'd like to listen to Freddy Alien, you can find us on SoundCloud, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts.
If you'd like to watch Fred the Alien, you can head over to youtube.com/Fred the Alien Productions. And if you're watching us right now, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon to be notified of future content just like this one. If you're watching us live over on Twitch, make sure to hit that twitch.tv/Fred the Alien Twitch.
Yes, I've been a Kendall Richardson.
I've been a Fulya and Michael.
And I've been the murderer himself, Michael Lister. Ah, I'm the murderer. And you just experienced a podcast called Fred. Transition.
Remember to eat beef.
Remember, Freddy lives, Loki dies, the Doctor is in, and did you know, I didn't know, that I can't ad-lib at the moment because I am tired because of daylight savings. There you go.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. Make sure to look after yourself and your mental health, everyone.
Yes.
Get some sleep.
Get some sleep. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, laters, gators.
And scene.
Nah.